This is Sandy with a little bit of glitter, and today I have a Valentine's Day card featuring some dies from Pretty Pink Posh. This cupcake could be actually used for any type of celebration. Go ahead and hit thumbs up if you like this video. You can subscribe to be notified of future videos. You can follow me on Instagram at Sandy Cogdill or on my blog, A Little Bit of Glitter. Let's get started. I wanted the top of this card, or the frosting part, to be the shaker element of my card. So I went ahead and I cut two of those pieces out of, that's called pixie dust cardstock. Then I took my X-Acto knife and I cut roughly about 1/8 of an inch around the different levels of the frosting to create little windows where the little confetti could be seen. Make sure that you're, first of all, careful with your X-Acto knife, but that your blade is very sharp. I tried with a dull blade and it was a complete disaster. Once you get done with that, it turns out to be a really cute idea. Next, I'm going to use the frosting die to cut the window in the top layer of my card. This is a pink textured cardstock by Bazil. I believe the color is Petunia. Now I'm going to use liquid glue on the back of that card to adhere a piece of acetate so I can finish that front layer of my shaker card. I used the die to cut out that shape from a piece of pop-up die cutting foam. You can find that at Spellbinders. I believe Simon Says Stamp also carries that. I don't always use that, but in this case I wanted a real clean finish on the edges of my frosting, so I went ahead and used that. Earlier I had some trouble with that adhering down to the acetate with the glue, the liquid glue, so I'm placing some double-sided tape on the foam, and then I will also follow that up with some liquid glue. Then I will place that over the acetate window and then start applying my foam strips to build up the balance of the card. Once I fill that window with the little pieces of confetti, I'm going to take the second piece of frosting that I cut out, place it over that opening, and then put a little bit of double-sided tape along that. And then I'm going to adhere a piece of white cardstock that's been cut the same size as the front of the card to seal everything in. To me, that just seems like it's the easiest way to do this type of shaker. A lot of times I like to do them so that I'm putting the card on top of the shaker well, but this one, it just felt like this was the easier way to do it. I'm going to flip over my card and then glue the little windows frosting that I cut out in the very first step of this card. I needed to cut down the little piece of cake, and I wanted it to fit nicely along the bottom of the frosting piece. So once again, I'm using that piece of frosting, placing it on top of my little cake piece, and then cutting that out with my die cutting machine. I've adhered my XOXO border to the bottom of my card, and then I'm using the Sentiment Strips Valentine stamps. I cut out a sentiment from that, and I'm going to glue that on top of the XO border. I'm gluing the bottom of the cupcake on, leaving the bottom left corner kind of loose until I get my one glitter heart tucked underneath the bottom of that, and then I'll place my other hearts on top of it. For the little flag, I've left the O out of love put together on a piece of tape, and you'll see I just kind of lay that O in the opening of the love, so I know exactly where to place the center of the O. So I'll lay that in there, lift my tape, lift my center of the O, put a little spot of glue, put my O, center O down, and then lift out the rest of the O, if that makes any sense. I just find it's an easy way to line up that O so it looks just right. I used the frosting die once again to cut the little flag stick, or the stick that holds the love flag, so that it lays nicely next to my frosting on the cupcake. Using the die that comes with part of the set, I've cut out a number of sprinkles from red and fuchsia colored glitter paper. I'm going to just place them on the top of my frosting, just on the little areas of the window to give the appearance of sprinkles, but still allowing the sprinkles in the window to show. To finish up the card, I'm going to adhere it to a piece of cardstock that's 4¼ by 5½. That should do it. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Once again, give me a thumbs up if you liked it. You can subscribe to my channel by hitting the subscribe button. You can follow me on Instagram at Sandy Cogdill, or at my blog, alittlebitofglitter.com. I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.